Hello fake butterflies, my name is Hannibal Nectar, and I'm going to be showing you someone who, to be completely honest, you could probably confuse for any attention-seeking white kid that you see get popular for like 4 months, before slowly fizzling out into obscurity. To be honest though, you probably have zero idea who he is. Well, unless you're him of course. Hi by the way, it's glad to meet you. Nevertheless, today I'm going to be talking about a strange specimen who has landed himself on the YouTube platform. That being Moom Pico, or at least I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, and I don't really care to be honest. I'm just going to call him Moomin until corrected. Newsflash, I still don't care. Anyway, you're probably confused on how he even found this person, considering he isn't very well known. I myself have only found him recently after all, so obviously I have the right to enlighten you. Our friend Moomin here wasn't introduced to me by accident. Oh no. Instead, it was presented by one of my Discord server members, Akia. And you know I can't resist talking down to people I find idiotic. It's therapeutic. So of course I obliged to watch, and oh.
A white man can say the hard R, but that doesn't immediately make him racist.
I haven't seen this level of idiocy since the time people thought me saying Scott Pilgrim is objectively not a pedophile was me defending pedophilia. Yes, that's a thing that actually happened. That's a story for another time though. You're probably on the edge of your seat right now, curious on whatever this bigot had to say, and I'll get to that. But first, a personal message. Moomin, I have something to say to you, man to self-proclaimed woman. If you really think trans people don't exist, I suggest you take some Benadryl, because I guess you're going to be dealing with 2 FNAF 3 Phantom animatronics today. And trust me, they're more realer than anything you've experienced in bed. Bigotry, ignorance, and ideals that trans people don't exist. These were the ingredients to create the perfect Andrew Tate fan. But Professor Common Sense accidentally added an extra ingredient to it. Chemical... Never mind, start the actual intro.
A white man can say the hard R, but that doesn't immediately make him racist. If you are a white person saying nigga casually, bro, and I get in my feelings and I think you're some sort of racist for it, I myself am racist. People who identify as asexual or incels don't give a fuck about reclaiming anything. That reclaiming excuse has been used to bypass the double standard people keep pointing out, and I'm sick and fucking tired of it. In the one out of context screenshot you show of my Twitter, it was a playful argument between me and one of my close friends. I'm not able to find it on the exact date because I'm not sure what happened to his reply. And at the time when I deleted the tweet, I didn't know of this video's existence coming to light in any way. That's the context as to why that screenshot even exists in the first place. We were having a playful Twitter argument and we were just shit talking.
Alright, this was the first thing that instantly made me laugh when I watched this video for the first time. You're probably wondering why I skipped so far in, and to be honest, it's mostly because that beginning part is about some drama that not me or my editor care about. We're just here to debunk about what we personally think is stupid. Anyway, Moomin, I hope you know your words mean absolutely nothing and we have no reason to trust you. The video you're responding to has clearly presented proof of you saying slurs as an insult, and without the needed context presented with actual evidence, I can only assume that this is you just coping. This is why I almost never delete anything, because you never know when something's gonna get used against you. Like, right now. Hey Grebs, it's your court date. You got all the evidence that you didn't kill that man, right?
Yeah, I kinda deleted it all.
Jesus H. Christ, dude.
So that was the context to that specific screenshot. The rest is just stupid. They're mad that I give people other freedom and comfortability to say which words they want to say, regardless if the public finds them offensive or not. I'm sorry, but thinking slurs immediately equals that somebody is bigoted is a stupid concept, and that belief alone and in itself is a bigoted belief to have. A white man can say the hard R, but that doesn't immediately make him racist.
What? What the fuck? Wow. Wow. A white man saying the hard R doesn't make him racist. But isn't that still offensive though? Yes, the N-word with a hard R might not come with hateful intent, but the word itself is hateful, which is why if you're going to use slurs as a joke, or in a non-hateful manner, it's usually with friends, because they know when you're joking. But that changes when you're talking to a complete stranger and they just call you the N-word with a hard R like it's cool. You don't know this person. You don't know how they operate. Wouldn't it be weird if they just randomly called you that? I already used this example in your comment section, but I'm gonna repeat myself. If some random white person walked up to you, a African-American male, and called you the N-word with a hard R, you wouldn't feel some type of way? You don't know if he was joking with you or being offensive because you don't know this person. And since they took the time out of their day to call you, a stranger, a slur, why would you not assume that this person is racist? This is common sense. I really shouldn't need to explain this to someone I can already tell is older than me.
Please shut the fuck up. Oh my gosh. I didn't stereotype anybody who's autistic and you should know that. And I'm pretty sure there are no witnesses to corroborate this video. And 2, every word has history, bro. Just because one has something harsh to it doesn't mean that specific word is off limits.
You know, these are the kind of quotes you can hang up on a wall, because what the hell are you talking about, sir? You're correct, every word does have a history, and I do agree with you that some of these words shouldn't be off limits, like of course the A word, which isn't a curse word at all, it's just a term used for a donkey, or Pyrocynical's teeth. Shut the fuck up! Yet for some reason, it's considered one. And then you take an actual slur, like the hard R, which was used to dehumanize and belittle black people to show us as an inferior species to white people. According to you, a different way of saying an animal's name is the same level of offensive as comparing a functioning human being to an animal. Good to know. I'm a person who goes by facts and logic. I personally think morals are stupid, very highly subjective, so I usually don't bring them up. This is all to say that this argument doesn't make any sense. You say you use logic and facts to back up claims in this video, yet I see nothing of the sort here. Even in your comment section, you fail to give me proof of your arguments when I ask for it. Moomin, since your argument isn't subjective bigotry, I'd like you to give me a cited source telling me that the N-word with the hard R doesn't have a negative connotation, while also telling me why a person shouldn't feel some type of way for randomly being called a slur. You probably answer with, oh, it's just a word, which in itself is a negative mindset, because no words aren't just words, and you know that. If you didn't, you wouldn't be complaining about being called a bigot. I know I'm calling you, a person I don't know, a bigot with no reason to be joking with you, but according to your logic, I'm not actually calling you the definition of a bigot, I'm just saying the word. Yet for some reason, you're offended about it enough to make a video defending yourself over just a word. That sounds like a double standard, dude.
Every word has history, bro. Just because one has something harsh to it doesn't mean that specific word is off limits. I don't care. I am not going to restrict my speech for anyone for anything. Fuck you. And let me entertain this person's fantasy land since we're restricting words now. If you are a white person saying nigga casually, bro, and I get in my feelings and I think you're some sort of racist for it, I myself am racist. I am restricting your freedom of speech based off your race, and that is not okay.
No, you retard, you wouldn't be racist. You'd be a normal human being reacting accordingly to some random white person saying the N-word towards you casually. Screw the slur thing real quick, I'm just gonna talk about words in general. If someone explains to you how certain topics or certain words can trigger them because of what has happened to them in the past, you're just gonna ignore their wishes because screw them? What if you're in a room with a victim of rape and you're talking about something involving that, and that person decides to politely ask you to switch the subject or talk about something else? You're gonna play the victim card and act like you're in the right? Because one thing I know for a fact, you'd never do anything that you're preaching in this video in real life, because you'd either be 6 feet under or have disappointed parents. If you walked in a random hood and randomly started calling people the hard R, no matter if you're black or not, we both know you're seeing the gates immediately. You aren't gonna call a random black man with a Second Amendment right in his pocket a pussy for you calling him the hard R and him being in his feelings about it, are you? You wanna know why I know that? Because you yourself are a pussy. No sane person would say anything that you're saying in real life unless they want to get jumped. I highly doubt you even believe half the bullcrap you're spewing out in this video. That's how idiotic your statements are. To be honest, I feel like this is just a beacon teacher situation, because when you're just saying anything to keep traction or have any form of engagement, it's just pathetic. And if that's not the case, ye have little faith, I guess. I'm an atheist, but even I think you need to seek Jesus. Sorry about that mic quality, I'm still tinkering around with my mic and stuff and didn't realize I'd sound like a Modern Warfare lobby in 2006 if I raised my voice by a single decimal. Anyway, I think I'm gonna tag out for Grebs now, since yes, she has some things to say about this guy. I specifically gave her more parts focusing on his views on trans and celibate people, mostly because she's more of a professional trans person while I'm just a level 1 she/her. Anyway, Grebs, tag in before I die of unnamed sickness or something.
Ooh. Hello, I'm Grebs. I have no idea how Hannah was introduced me, and I don't care, because I want to laugh at an idiot. A certain Moomin-shaped transphobe idiot. So sit down, grab a coffee, because the funny vampire trans girl has taken over for a couple of minutes.
So this screenshot that they flashed on the screen with little to no context, along with many other screenshots hoping that people genuinely just don't read, and only see the most egregious and aggravating parts of it, rather than reading it in its full context. But I'll read it for you. It's right there. I think I said people who identify as asexual are incels one time, and that shit pissed people the fuck off. It's the fact I genuinely believe it too. Now I have a sensible reason as for why I genuinely believe this. That reason being that the definition literally clarifies you for itself. I mean, all you have to do is just search it up and it's there. It literally says it's a term used to describe somebody who does not experience sexual attraction toward individuals of any gender. Whatever that means. But they literally tell you this self, so I'm not really lying about anything. I literally just took the definition for what it was and came to my own interpretation.
First things first, Moomin, honey, I love how you kick up such a fuss that people are reading your comments without context, and then don't give context in hopes that people will mindlessly believe you. And two, the main one here, asexual people are incels. Right, I'm gonna go get my dictionary. So, incel is an abbreviation for involuntary celibate. Now, involuntary basically means that something happens without somebody's will, and celibate is an old-timey way of saying virgin. That's why incel is commonly used for people who actively chase women in hopes of unga boonga time and then get rejected. So, now we have that out of the way, let's see your cute little Google definition you have on screen. Doesn't experience attraction sexually, so literally the complete opposite of what an incel is. You know, I never thought I'd have to teach the meaning of words as someone so in love with looking up definitions into Google. And coping to the comments that asexuality is a stupid label, when it is a scientific label given to stuff like plants and stuff that reproduce without sex. No, just throw my entire argument out the window with, let's just say they're virgins. Oh, and by the way, nice attempt to insult me with telling me I should have a shower. I guess when it comes from the guy who's clearly not touched grass in his life, as you get so offended being called a bigot.
They want you to read the part where I say I don't like or support any of the LGBTQ's lifestyle, but don't want you to read the part where I recognize that people who have a different sexual preference from me have a heart and soul and are human just like me, but I say in this message that they degrade their value in life in terms of natural reproduction by 100%.
Oh, sweet Jesus, where do I begin with this? One, I do appreciate that you say gay people are disgusting Silent Hill monsters without a heart or soul, but what the hell are you talking about when you say gay people degrade their value in life? Actually, what does that even mean? You do know this applies to straight people, right? What about a couple who can't have kids? What about a couple who just don't want kids? What about a couple who want kids, but because I'm an evil letter person, I murder them before that happens? Heck, by your logic, your social value is nothing because you don't have kids. Oh, and you do realize gay people can have kids, right? Sperm donation is a thing. I just love how your arguments can fall apart with any basic thought. Also, I'm gonna skip the next section, mainly because it's a situation I don't know about nor really care.
And like the last screenshot I showed on screen, this one is also shit talk too, but I was mainly talking shit about idiots who kept calling me homophobic and transphobic without knowing what the words mean, and getting mad at me because I said slurs or whatever the fuck, even though people don't really care like that, so I don't understand what's their problem. Even when I didn't say any slurs in the screenshot, this idiot still finds a way to get mad and pissy.
Okay, first off, you say someone is an idiot for not knowing what slurs mean, but who the hell made you judge of what is or is not a slur? By your logic, Moomin, the hard R is not a slur. Actually, never mind, if I say that and you get mad, that makes you racist, I forgot. God, this is like dealing with that one kid in school who says the dumbest crap just to get attention from the class. Anyway, words like gay boy, lesbo, and trans G. What? Yeah, you're right, I don't know what that is. Is that even a word? You know, I could check, do basic research, but because Moomin can't be bothered to look up what incel means, I just won't bother. Yes, I am that petty. Anyway, yes, these words are offensive. Mainly because personally I was called gay boy all the time back in secondary school, which is like middle school in the funny tea country, I think. And yes, that absolutely was used to make me feel like crap. I'm not going over a big sob story, so don't worry. I just want to point out that your argument falls flat, that these words aren't slurs, as technically they aren't, but they're absolutely insults. Oh, and another screenshot shows him actively admitting to segregating LGBT people out of his community. And I could go on a rant on how it's so homophobic. Unless it's your first day on Earth, I don't think it needs spilling out to you, especially since I want to cover the part of the video that interested me the most.
Alright, so to poke at the reason why people call me transphobic, it's literally just because I don't believe in trans ideals, like, at all. I don't validate this concept or believe it to be real, and here's how I explain that. My reasoning for not believing in trans ideals is specifically because of the definition itself. It explicitly states that people who behave or express themselves outside of their biological sex, that would mean that they are transgender. First of all, this is false, and a very close-minded statement to have. Just because a guy has feminine aspects about himself does not mean that it's a gender issue and that he should change his gender because of his feminine aspects. That's just stupid. It's the same and vice versa. If you are a girl and you have masculine aspects about yourself, bro, it's not a gender-related issue. For people who keep calling me a transphobic bigot, why does the definition of a transgender and the whole concept of transness in general completely excludes the fact that there are guys with feminine aspects about them and females with masculine aspects about them in their definition?
Okay. So, being trans is invalid because it excludes femboys? What? I agree, Moomin. A girl who has masculine aspects isn't a man. That's why they aren't in the definition. Because they don't think of themselves as a man. And when I questioned your point, because when I first watched this, I sat in silence trying to understand what you meant, because you didn't really give any points. You said it's about stereotypes? Gender has always been stereotyped, moron. I myself think of myself as more of a tomboy. I usually have my hair in a ponytail and I wear stuff like flannels in real life, but I also wear makeup and I occasionally wear skirts. No, sorry, because I'm a woman, I must dress up in floral gowns and wear nothing but pink at all times. Yes, being trans isn't about the traits you have as a person, it's about how you perceive yourself. That's why I'm a hot-ass vampire girl, because being a hot-ass vampire boy didn't work out, especially after the incident.
And even then, in that same screenshot, before you even read any of the parts that are highlighted, they imply that transgender is an umbrella term, which is fucking stupid. So a gay boy who puts on makeup and makes himself look pretty for whatever reason, his biological gender is automatically dismissed because of his characteristics, bro? So that automatically just makes him a woman, just magically.
No, retard. Putting on makeup and dresses as a male doesn't make you trans. What makes you trans is if you see yourself as trans. If this hypothetical gay guy you made up as a straw man only does it for a sexual thing, which, by the way, I don't know any trans women who've had boners from wearing women's clothing. Again, it's a stereotype only to make trans women look like sex-obsessed perverts, and I'm sick of it. So no, your lazy hypotheticals aren't a response, because you are not trans. You clearly don't know the thought process in being trans. Therefore, you have no leg to stand on.
I've got no legs!
As someone who occasionally wears women's clothing, I've only really been out for a year. I only really do it to feel good about myself, especially since there's no better feeling than someone looking at me and thinking I'm born female. I don't care about being attractive, because I just want to do what I feel comfortable doing, and that goes with almost every trans person. But again, Moomin, you don't care about this stuff, because as long as it goes with your garbage narrative that every trans person is a gay person who wants that zesty thing good for you. Oh, and by the way, when I look transgender into Google, I got a definition that actually explains what trans is. So unless the definitions are different in America, you must have done some serious digging to find one that actually fits your narrative, you I'm honestly getting a headache. He then goes on a rant about chromosomes, which, well done, you're a chromosome biologist. I'm gonna leave a certain panda to deal with that crap. Not gonna lie, the more I go on, the more I have to edit, and I hate hearing my own voice enough as it is, so I'm gonna go have a nap. I'll leave you to your regularly scheduled Hannibal Nectar broadcast. But before I go, youtube.com/grabs, 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 youtube.com/grabs.
And I'm back again, because last I checked, this isn't Grebs' channel, it's mine. And I'm allowed to place her back in the basement at any time of the day. Remember that, Grebs. I'm talking to you. Oh, anyway, since I have to actually get off my butt and stop playing Fallout New Vegas, I should get to the final part of this video so I can finally be done with this.
So we're just playing these stupid ass gay games now, and then on top of that, they don't even make a biological argument for why transgenderism is valid. Men and women are biologically programmed different all the way down to their chromosomes. And no shocker, that's an objective fact. I'm not wrong in saying this. We are even obviously different in the reproductive system compartment. This isn't some fucking open debate. This is an objective fact. The definition of a transgender ignores these key differences and also ignores the diverse and nuanced personalities of certain people. This is a stupid gay game, bro. I don't have time for stuff like these.
Wow, that's such a cool and objective fact, Moomin. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna go on my computer and search up the definition of transgender and... Oh, wait. Your argument doesn't make any sense. What you and every other red-pilled person in existence fails to understand is that being transgender is literally in the name, the transition of your gender. You're not claiming to be of a different sex. Let me put this into words you can understand. The sex of a person will always be what that person is born with. My sex is male, Grebs' sex is male. Our sex is an objective thing that we cannot change. The gender of a person, on the other hand, can be changed to whatever the person wants. My gender is female, Grebs' gender is female. Our gender is a subjective thing that we can do whatever we want with. The reason I say this is because you clearly have no idea what transgender even means, Mr. Definition. Why would they need to come up with a biological argument for transgenderism when there is no biological argument to be had? Gender isn't even biological and is completely separate from biological sex, which is an objective fact that has actually been fact-checked by both me and my editor. I don't know how you want me to not call you transphobic and bigoted person when you can't even properly fact-check yourself. And the fact that the word gay can't stop leaving your mouth to the point I think you're giving someone oral sex is also a telltale sign of being bigoted. So, yeah.
It seems like you definitely just don't read the screenshots that you put up on the screen, because one of the screenshots that you showed don't even corroborate your point that sexual assault victims were expressing their opinion on how the art was offensive. And since you're taking these whiny bum-ass niggas' opinions so seriously as opposed to credibility, I was also a victim of SA, and I was touched inappropriately as a little kid. Just because somebody goes through a traumatic experience in regards to sexual matters and someone else thinks that character is attractive in some way, they're not putting a rape victim or a victim of sexual assault down for finding them attractive. Are you fucking stupid? Unsurprisingly, the tweets you show in favor of yourself are just as weak as your arguments in this video. I'm pretty sure that's surprising nobody at this point in the video, but I'll go over my response to the situation. The underlying one part of my response, like it's some sort of gotcha moment, I'm pretty sure the third grade reading level can't comprehend what I just said, so I'll explain it in full detail for them. What I was referring to when I said the action is bad, I was talking about sexual assault, and the reason why I said the drawing is objectively not a problem is because they're just being a fucking gooner. They're just being horny. Who cares?
Okay, so before I actually respond to Moomin, I feel like I should give my personal opinion on this subject. I actually kind of agree with him on the statement, put your pitchforks down, let me explain myself. I personally don't mind, and I don't think others should mind, if an artist makes sexual art of an SA or rape victim in fiction. Here's why. It's just pixels. It's not an actual victim of SA. It's zeros and ones taking the avatar of an SA victim for the story it's presented in. Finding a victim of SA attractive is, to me anyway, like finding anyone else attractive, whether they're in the game or not. This is completely different from finding a kid in a game attractive, which probably says a lot more about you. That suggests you're more likely to find kids attractive in real life. But as for SA victims, I don't think people have a fetish for them specifically. At least I hope not. Anyway, since I agree with Moomin here, there's no problem, right? Wrong. The person in this video that he's responding to is calling out Moom's hypocrisy, saying he allegedly disagreed with this ideology before going back on it. Now, people can have changes in opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. You could have just admitted it, but instead, you decided to respond to the completely wrong thing for some reason. How swagger you, Moomin? Alright, we're done now. The video's basically over. This took longer than it should have, but honestly, I feel like it was worth it. Calling Moomin out in his comment section just didn't feel enough, so this video just felt right to do. Both me and Grebs had a lot of fun doing this, and might do it again if prompted. Also, since I'm gonna @ Moomin, he's definitely gonna see this video. So I'm just gonna say, if you want to speak in a more conventional setting, join my Discord and we can have a talk there or something. I love debating after all. Anyway, considering I have nothing else to say or do, I guess I'm going back to my trans can again. Insert random pyrocynical clip.
Oh fuck, okay.